so good. Playing all day. Crosshair works only the first game for you at 8:30, and all you've got to do to win the entire lot is figure out the remaining well-known names in that lot. So I hope you to play from 8:30 tomorrow. Smooth.
Home Solution by Metricon has fixed price home and land packages to suit your needs. Home Solution by
Okay, we're here,
First choice.
and this is John's cooking segment. Some people don't know how to hold a knife correctly. The correct way to hold a knife is not like this, but like this by the blade and the handle, so you've got complete control over the knife. Do not hold a knife like that, you'll cut yourself. Complete. I've worked 10 years in the kitchen, I've got a lot of experience. Rule number 1. Rule number 2, a clean kitchen, sanitised and cleaned. Always sanitize and clean your kitchen. You haven't got anything to clean it with, salt water and hot boiling water will do the job. Sanitize your kitchen always, keep it nice and clean. And I will start here with an Aussie favourite of mine. We'll put some onions on there, nicely. We need some good quality Australian olive oil. If you haven't got that, some canola oil's cheaper. Some canola oil, that'll do the job as well. Just put in half a teaspoon of olive oil, fry off your onions. Fry off your onions. Don't have it too hot, because you'll burn the pan. These pans are from Reject Shop. They cost about $9 each. They're non-stick pans. They're very affordable. I'm cooking for about 4 people, yeah? About a family of 4, yeah? Some men don't like to cook because they rely on women to cook for them, but we've got to learn to cook for ourselves. You've got macaroni there, $1. You've got some Australian diced tomatoes, some chicken stock, a tin of tuna. And, of course, don't forget the last problem. We've got chickpeas here, the tuna, and the crushed diced tomatoes, and a can of Victoria, or a can of beer. And if you haven't got the stock, you can also use the stock out of a Maggi noodle chicken. Use the stock out of that. It's chicken stock, good quality. Or, if you haven't got that, you can use beef stock's alternative. They all work. A bit of cheap wine, Riesling, always use Riesling. This is a $3 bottle. This will probably last you about, 20 cook-offs, 15 cook-offs. Okay, we've got some salt and pepper there. Okay, and we're going to cook our ingredients. Cook your onions till they're soft. That needs a little bit more of olive oil. I've pre-cooked my macaroni because it'll kill time. That's the Romano Australian macaroni. Very simple dish, very easy. Don't burn the onions. Just saute them till they're soft. Turn it down if you see them start to burn. Turn the heat down. To this, add a splash of white wine. Just about 2 teaspoons or 3 teaspoons. As you can see there, it's a little bit hot. So we'll take it off the flame there. We'll turn the flame down a little bit. And we'll let that saute in there. To this we'll add 1 tin of tomato. In it goes. Plate in the sink. A pinch of sugar. A pinch of sugar, brown or white, just to take the acidity away from the tomatoes. Tomatoes got a lot of acid in there. It seems to me Australian and these continental chefs and cooks like to cook with garlic. They put garlic in everything. This one's got no garlic in it. Okay, a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, a little bit of water. About a cup of water. And let that boil up. Let that simmer for about a couple of minutes. Turn the heat up again so it boils. Stir that in. If you haven't got crushed peppers, you can use the normal pepper, but I like the black peppercorns. Now we don't stick the tuna in and chickpeas till later. We're going to cook first. If you overcook the tuna, it tastes bland and awful. Yuck. You just put them into the last stage so you don't overcook it. It's very important. So here we go. We're cooking now. So it'll boil up in a minute. So they're the basic things you need. Okay. I'll put in a pinch of salt there. Everything's fine. Very cheap. Very, very cheap. This is about $12 meal, yeah? $12 for 4 people, yeah? Good meal. Very tasty, not over spicy. Some Australian people do not like spicy food. Some chefs put too much garbage in their food, too many ingredients. They spoil it. A few ingredients is nice, 4 or 5, no more. Some of these cooks and chefs really don't know how to cook, and they don't know. They put so many ingredients together, plain and simple. 4 or 5 ingredients, very tasty, very nice. Now, so you can see they're cooking along nicely. Okay, the fire's on. Just let that boil up a little bit. Now with the pasta, the macaroni, it suggests on the packet that you cook it for 10 minutes. So you cook it for 5, and you cook it the rest of the way in the pan when you're ready. You cook it for 5 minutes in the pan and 5 minutes boil. This is so the macaroni will really soak up all the juices of what it's cooking in, rather than just boiling it off and mixing it. Okay, so remember that, and Bob's your uncle, and that's boiling nicely now. And did you hear the one about the woman that brought a koala? She found him on Gumtree. Yeah, so cooking along nicely here. Okay, that's been cooking now for about 9 or 10, 8 minutes, simmering away. The steam reducer is very important in cooking, to reduce by taking the steam out of sauces and making them very tasty by reducing the sauce, by letting it steam off, and it will become thicker and nicer, the sauce. Add your chickpeas now. I've added also a teaspoon of chicken stock, 1 teaspoon. If you haven't got that, the other one will do, beef stock. Okay, that'll do nicely. Okay, put your chickpeas in now. Okay, that's been simmering now for quite a while, about a few minutes more after I put the chickpeas in, a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Now add your pasta, all your pasta. There's 500 grams there. Add it all. Oh, if it will come out, there it is. Normally you take it straight out of the water and put it into the sauce. Okay, break it up because it's been in the colander and it's formed really hard. Normally you just take it, strain it. I couldn't strain it straight out and put it in because I only got one hand. But normally take it straight out of the strainer hot and put it into the pan. So this, you add a little bit more water. A little bit more water, and cook that for about another, say around about another 5 or 6 minutes. Just keep cooking that and turning it as you go along. Turning it, so the sauce and everything, stock and all that, mix in well. Keep turning. It's not a very spicy meal, but it's not bland. It's a very tasty, nice meal. You might have to add a little bit more water. What will happen is the pasta will soak up all the juices and water, which will make a very tasty meal. You don't need Parmesan cheese on this or anything. Okay, it's very tasty. Okay, just keep turning it. Okay, that's been cooking now in the pan for an extra 5 or 6 minutes after we added all our ingredients. And last of all now, we add our tuna and olive oil. Very important that the olive oil go in there as well for flavouring. A tuna and olive oil. We break that up into little pieces and spread it around. The wine that was added to it will take the fish flavour out. Although it has most of it gone, evaporated, it will take the fishy taste out of the tuna. Okay, so wine always removes the fishy taste out of the tuna, remember that. And Bob's your uncle, here we are. let that cook for another 3 or 4 minutes. Don't overcook it because the tuna will taste horrible. Tuna canned in it cooked again will taste horrible. You only want it in there to warm up the tuna. Okay, and you want the olive oil to coat the pasta. So, if you don't want to toss it like a chef does, you can always do it like so. Turn it, and you'll know when it's coming good because all of the stock out of the bottom is starting to disappear. See that at the bottom? The pasta is soaking up all the juices, what you've cooked up. All the tomato, the pepper, the salt, all the juices, okay, is in there. So that's nearly ready to serve. Okay, another few more minutes, and it's ready to serve. That's about it, and that's my Aussie invention. Noodles, tuna, onion, tomato, and chickpeas. Very cheap to buy, and it'll feed probably 4 or 5 people. Okay? After you cook them ingredients for 3 or 4 minutes, allow it to stand in the pan for about a minute or 2 before you serve it. Okay, that's been sitting for about 2 minutes to allow the pasta to fully open up and swell. Okay, that's ready to serve. We have here a lovely pasta and chickpea. Lovely pasta and chickpea and tuna. Macaroni. It's an Aussie invention. It's like beer. You can't go without it. Okay. Oh, and by the way, cheers, the beer's to drink, not for the recipe.